I swear to you this happened. My name is Matej Novak, and I come from a small village just outside Brno, Czech Republic. And though decades have passed since that night in 1996, I still hear the voice. I still see the shadows, and I still feel the cold hands that tried to pull me into the forest. It was the end of December, when the air cuts like glass and the fog rolls across the hills thick as wool, when the days are short and the nights never seem to end. I had been at a friend's house late into the evening, and against all warnings, I decided to take the forest path home. It was shorter, and in my arrogance, I laughed at the old tales the villagers used to tell us as children, stories of trees that whispered, of shadows that moved without bodies, and of the white lady who sang in the dark. The first thing I noticed as I entered the woods was the silence. No owls, no wind, no crack of branches under frost. It was as if the world itself was holding its breath. Then, after only a few steps, I heard it, a faint melody, a humming that rose and fell like someone singing to themselves. It was so soft at first I thought it was my imagination, but soon it grew louder, clearer, echoing between the frozen trunks. I froze. No one should have been there. The nearest houses were far behind me, and in that hour, close to midnight, only fools or the lost wandered the forest. Against every instinct, I followed the sound. My breath clouded the air, my boots sank into the snow, and the humming drew me deeper until I saw her. She stood between two birch trees, dressed in a thin white gown that moved though there was no wind. Her head was tilted downward, long black hair hiding her face, and her arms hung stiff at her sides. At first, I thought she was a woman in trouble, perhaps hurt or lost, but when I called out, "Are you all right?" she did not answer. Instead, her head jerked up in a motion too sharp, too unnatural. The moonlight struck her face, only there was no face at all. Where her eyes should have been were empty hollows of shadow. Where her mouth should have been was nothing but smooth, pale skin, like candle wax stretched too tightly. The air shifted. My chest grew heavy, as if the forest itself had clenched around me. Then I heard it, my name, whispered from every direction at once. Matej, Matej, Matej. Voices of men, women, children, all calling, overlapping in a dreadful chorus. I staggered back, my lantern flickering violently, and the woman began to move. Not walking, not stepping, but gliding across the snow, her gown dragging without sound, her faceless head tilting from side to side as if she were listening for me. Panic consumed me. I turned and ran, my boots cracking the ice, my lungs tearing with cold, but the whispers followed me, louder, faster, until they were inside my skull. I dared not look back, but I felt her close, too close, the cold wrapping around my spine like fingers. The path twisted unnaturally, leading me in circles. The trees seemed different, wrong, bending in ways I had never seen before. I no longer recognized the forest I had walked my whole life. It was as if it had reshaped itself to trap me. Then I stumbled. My lantern fell and shattered, plunging me into total darkness. I could hear her now. The humming had turned into a shriek, piercing, endless, scraping at my bones. Something icy brushed the back of my neck, and in blind desperation I scrambled forward on my hands and knees, clawing through snow and roots until at last I saw it. The faint orange glow of the village lamps beyond the trees. With the last of my strength, I burst out of the forest and collapsed onto the frozen road. The air rushed back, the whispers ceased, and when turned my head, the woods stood silent, untouched, as though nothing had happened. But something did happen. From that night on, I was never the same. I stopped walking the forest paths. I stopped laughing at the stories. And worst of all, I never escaped her. Even now, almost 30 years later, when I close my eyes, I hear that faint humming just beyond my door. Sometimes, in the reflection of a dark window, I see a white shape behind me, waiting, patient. She never let me go.